This is a antique prank device for secret societies.
So what now?
All I heard was secret societies.
Well, in the immortal words of Groucho Marx, I'd never belong to a club that would have me as a member.
I have something very interesting to show you. It's a mourning brooch or pin that dates back to 1824.
A collector strolls in with a Roman military diploma, a literal engraved bronze certificate from Emperor-era soldiers. Rick lights up like it's Christmas in ancient Rome, rattling off Praetorian Guard trivia and gladiator jokes. The seller wants $15,000. Rick admits he's clueless, so he calls in his artifact expert before gambling Roman style. You can already smell the ancient drama brewing.
I have an ancient Roman military diploma.
I love the Roman Empire. There's so many neat things to talk about. It was an amazing civilization and was in steep decline for like 100 years and then really just sort of fell off a cliff in the 400s.
Expert Dave Baggy inspects the diploma and confirms it's legit, nearly 1,800 years old. Issued to Marcus Aurelius Valens of the Praetorian Guard. Rick's impressed until Dave values it around $12,500 retail. Rick offers $6,000. The seller stands tall at $12,500. Negotiation hits a wall faster than a Roman chariot crash. The die is cast, Rick sighs. Classic Latin exit.
There are a lot of different Roman inscriptions. Probably the most common surviving is from Roman military diplomas. They're usually fragmentary like this. So the original would have been larger like this, and then one similarly large piece, and they would have been put together like a sandwich.
Cut to Chumlee, who meets a seller with an autographed Alfred Hitchcock self-portrait. It's iconic, the silhouette from Alfred Hitchcock presents. Chum cracks jokes about Psycho and his own profile, but he's smart enough to call expert Steve Grad. Seller wants $3,000. Chum's eyebrow shoots up higher than a suspense soundtrack.
This is pretty cool. Silhouette is known from his TV series, Alfred Hitchcock Presents. And it would be a silhouette of him, and then the camera would be focused on it. He would walk into it like this, and the silhouette would like line up with his face, and it would disappear. Then he would be standing here. You know.
Steve Grad arrives, studies the ink, and confirms it's genuine. Hitchcock himself drew and signed it. But plot twist, value tops out at $1,200. The seller's bottom line is $2,500, and Chum offers $600. Seller storms off calling it psycho. Chum grins, guess he didn't appreciate my suspense. Pure comedy gold.
You look back at the films he made, he always had that suspenseful, anxiety-type filming. And it still stands the test of time. There's a lot of filmmakers still follow kind of his model, his theory, so.
Meanwhile, Corey gets nostalgic with a 1961 Sugar Smacks cereal box featuring Quick Draw McGraw. The seller wants $500, but Corey lowballs at $100. They debate childhood toys, sugar addiction, and cartoon marketing history. The seller refuses to budge below $400. No deal. Corey shrugs. Guess breakfast is canceled.
I have an unused 1961 Sugar Smacks cereal box.
All right. That's Quick Draw McGraw, right?
Yes.
Is that one?
Huckleberry Hound.
Huckleberry Hound.
Things sharpen when Rick meets a collector holding a King George III horsehead sword from the late 1700s. It gleams with gold inlay and history. Seller wants $5,900. Rick calls in Alex, his military expert, who confirms it's authentic but shortened. Ouch. Value drops to $3,500. Rick offers $2,000. The seller refuses to unsheathe that kind of discount.
It takes a really good swordsmith to create bluing well enough to last 100 years. It's short, very short, as a matter of fact. How much do you want for it?
I'm looking for $5,900.
Now for the Hollywood crossover, Chumlee heads to LA chasing a prop from Austin Powers. The seller, Harvey, reveals the cryogenic freezing chamber used in the movie. Chum loses it. Yeah, baby. The price tag? $8,500. Chum circles it like a spy, spotting missing parts and scratches. He calls in his film prop buddy, Tall Rob, for the ultimate groovy appraisal.
And here we are. This is the famous Austin Powers cryogenic chamber.
Shagadelic, baby.
Yeah.
Tall Rob confirms it's the real foreground prop used in the movie, but cracks in the glass tank its value to $3,500. Chum laughs it off. Shipping alone would cost half that. Seller drops to $5,500, but Chum passes. One of the coolest things I've ever seen, but not cool enough for $8,000.
Yeah, well, this was the cryogenic chamber that they used in the film. This is what we call a foreground prop. This is one that he actually stood in, filmed in, started the film actually. It was the beginning of the film.
Back at the shop, Rick faces a Superman one-man sketch signed by creators Jerry Siegel and Joe Shuster. Sellers dreaming of $6,500. Rick, suspicious, brings in comic expert Paul. Turns out it's a reprint signed by the real duo. Authentic autographs, but not original art. Value, about $1,000. Rick offers $600, seller counters $4,200, and boom. Deal gone faster than Clark Kent's wardrobe change.
Joe Shuster, Jerry Siegel, they were two boys from Cleveland, Ohio. They went to New York City. Joe and Jerry sold their creations for man to DC Comics, and the rest of their lives they spent trying to get the rights back.
Next, Corey rolls the dice on a miniature roulette table from the Desert Inn, vintage Vegas at its finest. Seller wants $750. Corey calls in Andy, his Vegas historian, who praises the original ball and instructions but sets value around $175. Corey offers $125. The seller refuses, and the house, once again, wins.
Okay, so this is probably 1950s era, yes?
Yeah.
These are very cool items because they used to sell these at the gift shops, and they would sometimes give them away on New Year's Eve, usually to high rollers, because as you can tell, it's a well-made piece.
Rick then gets a treasure-hunting surprise, a gold coral rosary from the 1715 Spanish shipwreck fleet. Seller wants a staggering $75,000. Rick gives a full shipwreck history lesson, from hurricanes to Spanish galleons, before sinking expectations. Markets flooded with treasure, literally. His offer? $12,000. Seller walks, muttering, "You're killing me." Rick just smirks. That ship sailed.
This is a golden coral rosary from a famous shipwreck, the 1715 fleet.
That's cool. Coral was really, really popular and inexpensive around this time period.
Finally, Chum returns from LA grinning ear to ear. He didn't buy the Austin Powers chamber, but he did bring gifts. He hands Rick and Corey California sushi burritos. Rick unwraps his to find it half-eaten. Corey's face? Absolute disgust. Chum beams, "Now it's just half a burrito." Cue chaos, laughter, and Rick face-palming into infinity.
I wanted to. It was amazing, coolest thing ever, but it was huge. I would have needed a truck to bring it back. It was the cryogenic machine from Austin Powers.
Okay.
It was pretty awesome. I got you guys a couple gifts.
All right.
That's for you.
What is it?
It's a sushi burrito from California.
Corey tosses the burrito aside, and Rick mutters something about Gilligan's Island as Chumlee proudly suggests turning it into poker chips. It's absurd, hilarious, and perfectly Pawn Stars, ending not with a deal, but with a half-eaten mystery roll and 3 grown men losing their minds. Talk about a cinematic closer.
Because he took a bite out of a burrito. You know what? He got you something, okay? Say thank you.
Yeah.
No!
Why are you so angry?
I've never been given a half-eaten sushi burrito as a gift.
Well, here, I'll make it easy for you.
A customer proudly presents a White House telephone from the Reagan era. The guy claims it was used in the Oval Office, and Rick's instantly intrigued. He launches into presidential phone trivia, name-dropping Hoover and Clinton, because of course he does. Sellers asking $1,200. Rick counters with a confident $300, and after some reluctant laughter, they shake at $350. Rick's grin says it all. He just dialed into history.
Hello, I have something here you might be interested in. It's from the West Wing of the White House, and I think that was the reporters covering the White House because it's non-secure.
Okay, so this is a non-secure one, so this would not be the phone you go like, "Yes, Mr. Putin."
You're correct.
Moments later, a collector drops a bombshell, a supposed photo of Abraham and Mary Todd Lincoln together, claiming it's worth $1 million. Rick and Chumlee's eyes nearly pop out. If real, it's a national treasure. If fake, it's the ultimate heartbreak. Rick's poker face is slipping. He knows this could change everything. Suspense is sky high.
I'd like to sell a picture of Mary and Abraham Lincoln from, I believe, 1863.
I thought Abe only took photos by himself.
What are you talking about?
Oh, he's right about that.
Are you jealous?
All right, we're running a business here.
Expert Maureen Taylor steps in with magnifiers and precision. She analyzes the ambrotype, details the cheeks, and then zeroes in on facial structure. The features don't match Abe or Mary. The verdict? Not authentic. The seller's confidence collapses instantly. Rick's disappointment is visible. You can feel the gut punch of million-dollar dreams meet hard truth. Talk about brutal honesty.
This is a really beautiful photograph. It's an ambrotype, as you know. And ambrotype, they enhanced the cheeks and the lips to make them look more lifelike.
Then it's Easter at the pawn shop. A seller brings in a Bush family-signed Easter egg, complete with doodles from George H.W., Barbara, and George W. Bush. Chumlee checks the LOA from expert Steve Grad. It's 100% legit. The seller wants $3,500. Chum fires back with $2,800. They settle at $3,100. Honestly, worth every penny just for those presidential bunny sketches.
I have a one-of-a-kind presidential plaster Easter egg.
What's so presidential about it?
Well, it's signed by George W. Bush, George Bush, and First Lady Barbara Bush.
Next, a man strides in with a Queen Victoria-signed military commission document. Rick's eyes light up. He loves royal history. He calls Steve Grad again, who confirms the signature's real, but not rare. The seller's face sinks as Steve appraises it around $250 tops. Rick offers $150. The man folds. The royal disappointment is almost Shakespearean.
I've got this Queen Victoria signed document.
Okay, pretty cool. She had so many kids, and all of her kids were married off to other royalty.
Now comes Rick's gamble of the episode. A cloth flight helmet marked Lieutenant R. Reagan. Seller's asking $5,000. Rick smirks, calls it a roll of the dice, and starts low at $2,000. The seller won't budge below $3,000. Rick caves. $3,000 it is. I'm a degenerate gambler now, he mutters. The store bursts into laughter. Legendary line.
I've got this early World War II Flying Corps helmet, and inside it's marked to Lieutenant R. Reagan.
Okay. Ronald Reagan, he was a big actor.
Meanwhile, prehistoric drama stomps in. A seller brings a dinosaur leg fossil, massive and jaw-dropping. The paleontologist confirms some toes or casts, but the core bones are real, with visible cell structure. Appraisal hits $25,000. After some negotiation heat, Rick locks it down at $18,000. That's ancient money, baby.
I was thinking $40,000.
$40,000. We don't even know what kind of dinosaur it's from.
Okay.
I also know that a lot of times they'll find, say, this bone right here and cast the rest of it plaster. So a lot of times these dinosaur bones are not all complete. Sometimes only.
Up next, nostalgia time. Rick handles an 1893 Columbian Exposition souvenir coin, an early elongated token celebrating the Chicago World's Fair. Seller wants $1,200. Rick knows retail maxes out around $700, so he coolly offers $300. They land at $350. It's a small deal, but Rick's coin nerd side is glowing.
What can I help you with today?
I think I've got a rare coin.
Let's see what we got here. Mind if I take it out of this?
Yeah, go for it.
Okay.
Colombian 1893 Exposition.
Road trip alert. Rick and Corey head to Rancho del Cielo, Ronald Reagan's ranch in Santa Barbara, to authenticate that helmet. They're greeted by Michael Reagan and curator Rachel. The property's a living museum. Reagan's Jeep, his desk, even his old phone setup. Rick looks like a kid in Disneyland for presidents. Goosebumps moment.
We're going to the Reagan Ranch, which was President Reagan's vacation home back in the day. Now it's a historical site, so we're going to go down there and we're going to speak with the curator. I hope they can prove that this thing is real, because everyone knows I love to make money.
Rachel digs into the archives and plays old Reagan training films to compare the helmet. Everyone leans in. The rear gunner, no match. Recognizing a Japanese Zero, close, but chin strap's different. Verdict, inconclusive. The disappointment is thick, but hope's still alive. Michael hints letters or archives might prove the truth.
So what do we got here?
So Reagan was a part of one of the first film units in the Army Air Force. He filmed over 200 videos during his career.
Back at the shop, Chumlee proudly unveils an elongated penny machine wrapped in a giant vinyl of himself and Pinky. Rick's reaction is pure comedy gold. Who paid for this? Chum explains the wraps on loan, but not free. Rick fires back. I love it. All the money's mine. Chum sputters, and the shop erupts. Drama and laughter collide.
Oh, hey guys. Looks like you made it back from California in one piece.
What are you doing?
You know, we got the elongated penny pressed just like this machine. So I have this penny machine wrapped with me and Pinky on it.
Rick steps up, spins the penny machine, and the camera zooms in on his grin. Chum's still arguing ownership. Corey's laughing in the background, and the whole scene feels like peak Pawn Stars chaos. One final clink of the coin drops, and fade to black. Classic.
You had it vinyl wrapped, and you're charging people $5.
I've got to make the money back somehow.
You just said it was on loan.
Yeah, but the machine's on loan, the wrap isn't on loan, and all the pennies weren't free, Rick. They cost a penny each.
Rick unveils that monster Gulf oil sign at Rick Dale's shop, chest out like a proud peacock. Corey sees rust, Rick sees $1 dollar signs. The neon craftsman calls it a find. And suddenly Corey's halfway convinced. Budget talk hits hard. Shipping was $1,200. Restoration around $10,000. And adding neon might push resale to about $25,000. Can you believe this confidence? Rick's already counting profits we can't even see yet.
The sign is collect, period. But for him to be able to find the pole and the piece that held the sign, make it worth its weight in gold. This is a find.
A seller brings Chum a Filipino insurrection-era bolo knife, and Chum immediately loves the heft. They read a provenance tag linking it to the 26th Infantry after an 1899 battle. History just got real. The seller shoots for $1,000, but Chum plays it cool. You can cut this tension with a knife. Pun totally intended, as the numbers ping-pong between pride and panic.
He's actually out getting a quote to repair that golf sign he got in Chattanooga.
Cool. All right. Well, maybe you can help me with a Filipino bolo knife from the insurrection.
All right.
Negotiation lands at $600, and Chum signs with that "please don't fire me" grin. The seller walks happy, declaring it unique and hard to price. Meanwhile, you can practically hear Corey sharpening a roast, ready to dunk on Chum's valuation. Seriously, watch that reaction. Chum looks proud and terrified at the exact same time. Drama simmering, bet foreshadowing activated.
Where did you get this?
Well, this came out of an estate sale.
What are you looking to do with it?
You know, usually bring stuff in here for Rick, and he's not here, but I figured $1,000, man. I mean, something like this, that's hard to price.
Then, curveball. Someone strolls in with a Roman brothel token. Rick tries to keep it clinical, but the front image says, "Sir, this is a family show." The seller wants $10,000. Rick wisely calls in his ancient coin guy, because this is one of those rare moments where history and blushes collide in the weirdest way possible. Talk about a twist.
I brought something that I think would be pretty popular here in Vegas. It is a Roman erotic tessera. It's a brothel token from ancient Rome.
Expert time. The token's part of a known erotic series, typically marked with Roman numerals on the reverse. Counterfeits exist, but after close inspection, it looks absolutely genuine. The valuation? At least $12,000, maybe more depending on condition and scene. Rick's eyes light up. This stopped being awkward and started being business. Seriously, look at that reaction. Equal parts relief and excitement.
It's certainly one explanation that these were used in brothels. During the reign of Tiberius, it was illegal to use coins with an emperor's portrait on them while paying in a brothel.
Deal table. Rick opens at $7,000. The seller counters at $9,000, and they meet at $8,000. Quick, clinical, and oh so satisfying. Watching the seller relax as the number lands is priceless, and Rick's smirk says, "I did not see that coming, but I'm thrilled." Negotiation masterclass. Minimal fluff, maximum momentum, pure shop poetry.
I took a good look. I think this is absolutely genuine. This is a good piece.
Okay, so what do these things go for?
If it were lesser condition, sometimes you can be looking at $1,500 or $2,000. If they're the most magnificent ones in existence, you can be looking at $25,000, $30,000.
Next, a Peanuts children's book illustration. The owner dreams of $1,300 and cowboy boots. Corey likes it, but phones a friend. The analysis is fascinating. Schultz did the characters, while Art and Kim Ellis handled backgrounds. So it's a production setup, not a pure Schultz original. Still collectible, still charming. You can feel the owner's hope wobbling, but refusing to fall.
He created Charlie Brown in 1950. I think the last one was printed in 2000. Over 2,000 newspapers, 70-something countries. I don't know a person alive that hasn't seen a Charlie Brown Christmas.
Chum lights up over an 1891 Louis Vuitton steamer trunk found in a storage unit. History lesson time. Flat lids for stacking. Compartments for hats, jewelry, and dresses. But condition? Rough, rips, water damage, even a random nail cameo. The seller wants $10,000. Chum has to bring them down to earth without losing the vibe. Negotiation gloves on. Here we go.
Found your new coffee table, bro.
It sure does look like it's Louis. What do you have here?
Well, we have a 1891 Louis Vuitton steamer trunk.
Awesome.
Back and forth crackles. Chum anchors at $800. The seller counters hard, and they hustle to a handshake at $1,350. Seriously, watch that reaction. Both sides walk away believing they won. It's the kind of deal that makes you grin. Even with blemishes, a legit Louis Vuitton trunk still hits like vintage luxury thunder.
Then you would put your major clothes right there and you would strap them down with this. These things are highly collectible. You commonly see them going for $20,000, $30,000, $40,000. With that being said, this has a lot of damage to it. It's got some water damage, it's got some rips.
Rick heads to the neon workshop and turns into a kid at a science fair. Crossfires for tight bends, ribbon burners for long sweeps, phosphor-coated glass, argon versus neon. His mind is blown in real time. As tubes glow alive, you can feel the sign's potential getting brighter with every hiss and spark. Drama overload. This is craftsmanship you can hear.
So I think we should do an outline over the letters and then maybe do a border all the way around it. What we'll do, we'll put a paper pattern over it and then just trace out the letters.
A striking red cavalry jacket rides in next. Rick suspects late 1700s/early 1800s and brings in Alex. Verdict: Scottish yeomanry cavalry tunic, hand-stitched, likely East Lothian, circa 1797 to 1827. Authentic? Yes. Marketable? Oof. The niche is so narrow it squeaks. You can cut the uncertainty with a knife as they weigh history versus shelf life.
We have here mounted cavalry red coat.
Okay, interesting. It's definitely old, I'll give you that. So where'd you get this?
I bought it from a friend of mine in England. Usually I'm a sword guy, and I said...
Alex pegs value around $4,000, but Rick passes. Too specialized, too risky, too likely to gather dust. It's a reality check moment. Even real treasure isn't always a great buy. The owner takes it in stride, and Rick lives to flip another day. Seriously, look at that reaction. Respectful, pragmatic, and just a touch regretful.
A yeomanry cavalry tunic. The yeomanry cavalry were a volunteer force. So this was not regular British Army. And in fact, this isn't even English. This looks to me like it's Scottish.
Vroom. A 1931 Indy 500 bleacher cushion screeches in pure brickyard nostalgia. It's worn but wonderfully evocative. You can practically hear the engines. The seller asks $190. Chum counters at $60, and they settle at $90. Tiny artifact, big smile. Watching them lock it down feels like a small, victorious fist pump for racing history.
I got a bleacher seat cushion from 1931 Indy 500 race. Cool.
Indianapolis 500. Not my favorite sport.
Finale time. Gulf sign reveal. The restoration is jaw-dropping. Extra panel, neon blazing, pure mid-century swagger. Rick's all in. $1,500 purchase, $1,200 shipping, $11,000 restoration, $13,700 total. His confidence? I'll get $25,000. Honestly, with that glow and the craftsman's magic, who's doubting him now? Corey finally concedes, today, Dad's a genius. Drama overload. Mission accomplished.
I think it's absolutely amazing that just screams 1950s. I mean, they just don't make stuff like that anymore. They would never go to the trouble to cantilever it off the side like that. They just don't do stuff like that anymore.
A customer strolls in with a 1955 Guinness Book of Records. The first year, Rick riffs on its brewery origins and marketing legend, while Chum jokes about breaking the record for most annoying employee. The seller wants $200, but the book's warped and foxed, so Rick plants a firm $50. After a half-hearted counter, the deal lands at $50. Expectations versus reality, Chapter 1.
Do you know much about the history of this book?
I don't really. It was dated 1955.
1955 was the first year. There was a guy who worked for Guinness Brewery.
I had no idea. Guinness beer in this book?
Mm-hmm. Enter an ancient curveball, a Greco-Roman mortar. The seller claims it's 2,000 years old and asks $5,000. Bought from a mountain man who made his own clothes. Yes, really. Rick loves the history, but hates guessing, so he calls an antiquities pro. Stakes feel huge, museum-worthy treasure or coffee table conversation piece. You can cut this tension with a pestle.
This is a fine antiquity. It's a Greco-Roman mortar. As you can see, it's been used.
Where did you get it?
I bought it from a mountain man.
Expert verdict time. Bob Dodge inspects the patina and wear, then drops a heartbreaker. It started life as a genuine Roman mortar, but someone recarved the surface about 100 to 150 years ago to add scenes, authentic base, contrived decoration, value nuked to roughly $200 to $300. Watching hopes collapse from ancient masterpiece to ancient oops is brutal. No deal.
So what do you think of it?
Well, let me take a look. So, Romanesque, very interesting. So what are your concerns, Rick?
Well, is it real? How old is it?
Now for pastel pandemonium. a 1957 Lionel girls train set, aggressively pink and historically infamous. Rick recaps how Lionel tried painting trains for girls. Spoiler, customers weren't buying. The set looks clean, boxes included, and it runs. The seller shoots for $7,500. Corey's intrigued but cautious. Time to summon the toy whisperer before the room turns bubblegum.
Lionel for years had tried to market their trains to girls, and they didn't buy them. So somehow or the other, you had some guys in a room thought it was a great idea. Well, they'll buy them if we paint it pink and like pastel colors, and girls will like it.
Toy expert Steve arrives, scrutinizes the paint, panels, and consistency. No telltale ripple from stripping, so it's likely original. He pegs value around $4,500 to $5,000 in this condition. That's Corey's green light to negotiate without getting derailed. Everyone holds their breath as the throttle inches from hope to reality. Seriously, watch that reaction. Collector delight meets spreadsheet math.
I can't believe there's guys in a boardroom who are like, yeah, girls will buy that.
And if a girl was gonna buy a train, she probably wanted something that was more realistic.
I didn't even know a paint company could make a paint color that ugly.
Deal table time. Corey opens near $3,000. The seller counters hard. After a brisk back and forth, they settle at $3,400. It's the kind of win where both sides smile. Seller gets strong money. Corey gets a rare pink unicorn that's more famous for its failure than its performance. Talk about a twist.
I'd like to get $7,500 for it.
Well, the guy just told me I could probably get $5,000 out of it if I'm lucky.
I don't think you'll find one this complete.
I'll give you $3,000 for it.
I think the best I could do is 35.
I'll give you $3,300. You probably paid $5 for it.
Then Chum's eyes ignite. A seller brings in Elon Musk's boring company, Not-A-Flamethrower. It's technically a souped-up torch, but come on, it shoots flames. The seller wants $2,400. Chum counters, confesses he wants it, and hammers out a $1,400 buy on impulse. You can practically hear Rick's blood pressure hissing like propane.
How you doing?
Pretty good. How are you?
Is that what I think it is?
Yeah, it definitely is. It's not a flamethrower.
Let's check it out.
Let's take it out.
No, I think it is a flamethrower.
The negotiation hangover hits instantly. Chum admits he didn't check the collector market. He just wanted the coolest not toy in Vegas. Rick's face says, call an expert now. The seller leaves happy. Chum stays nervous. We're all thinking the same thing. Did he overpay for an internet meme with a trigger?
The reason it's called not a flamethrower is actually because you couldn't get anything through customs that's labeled a flamethrower. So it's technically not a flamethrower, but it's the world's coolest torch. I mean, let's face it.
Shiny object alert. A 2009 New York Yankees World Series ring storms the counter. 119 diamonds of swagger. It's a staff secretary ring, identical to player versions, but not player issued. Ask $25,000. Rick brings in a championship ring expert to separate hype from history and figure out if the pinstripes add premium juice.
I got a ring I'm looking to sell.
Okay.
You might want to put your sunglasses on first. There's a lot of bling coming at you.
Whoa.
It's a 2009 World Series Yankees ring. Over 119 diamonds in it.
The expert confirms. Yankees, 27th title, 14-karat gold, made by Balfour, an absolute beauty. But lack of original display box dings value, and staff rings trail players rings. Verdict, about $22,000. Rick aims for a margin and goes to work, knowing this could still be a Grand Slam flip at the right price.
Yeah, this is the Yankees' 27th World Series win. This is an 09 made by Balfour. I know a lot about this ring. It's a 14-karat gold. This is a year that they won the World Series against the Phillies. They won 4-2.
Negotiations grind. Rick offers $20,000. The seller stands at $21,000. Split the difference? Not a dime more, Rick says, and taps out. No deal. Just a clean exit and a lesson in discipline. Drama overload. You can feel the sting. So close to the pinstripes, yet so far.
I'm looking at $25,000.
I'll give you $15,000.
Oh.
The thing is, it's not a player's ring.
Right.
Okay, and you don't have the box. But you said you're trying to get the box. If you get the box, I'll buy that off you too. But at this moment, we just have the ring.
Secret Society shenanigans walk in next. An antique prank branding device that shocks initiates instead of burning them. Rick's intrigued and calls magician Murray, who demonstrates the gag on Chum. Cue legendary yelp. It works. It's rare. It's wild. Valuation lands around $2,200 to $2,400. Rick offers $1,200, then $1,500. Seller holds at $3,000. No deal.
This looks like one of the old branding irons they used to use in the secret societies. This is great. The subject would be in the room, and they'd see an iron like this, or a metal iron in or over an oven, burning.
Flames, round 2. Rick, Chum, and Alex head to a desert lot to test the Not-A-Flamethrower. It roars to life, blasting hot dogs into charred perfection while Rick mutters about payroll deductions. Operational? Yes. Market reality? About $800 to $1,200 used without the box. Translation: Chum paid on the spicy side. The roasted lunch softens the blow, barely.
They're really cool. This is Elon Musk's company, the Boring Company. This was his latest marketing ploy. This year, they did flamethrowers, or not-a-flamethrowers. They sold 20,000 of them, and they made $10 million.
Final sting. Rick offers $1,200 to square the ledger and jokes about docking Chum's paycheck if he doesn't play ball. Chum pouts, Rick grumbles, and the flames die with zero s'mores. Just scorched egos and smoky laughter. You didn't think this episode would end quietly, did you? Drama overload.
Let's see if it works, and I'll deal with that later.
So now it's ready to go.
What do I do? I just
pull the trigger. Yep.
How do you like your hot dog, Rick?
Actually working.